Hello everyone, it's the Afro Adventure here with another album review. It is a hot spring day, and this time and for the very first time I'm going to be reviewing a soundtrack, and that soundtrack is the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. It's by various artists. It was released February 10th of this year, 2015. Some chart information about it peaked number 2 on the US Billboard 200 and number 1 on the US Billboard Soundtrack Albums chart. It's released on the label Republic, and the singles are Earned It and Love Me Like You Do. So without further ado, let's get this started. So this album review was actually requested by my girlfriend. She told me that she's heard that the soundtrack is better than the film and asked if I could review it, so of course I said yes. Now, let it be known that neither she or I have read the book, and she hasn't seen the film. However, after I listened through the soundtrack and read the lyrics to each song, I knew I had to watch the film, and let me say it really helped to better understand the context of these tracks in relation to the film. Unless you live under a rock, you should all know that 50 Shades of Grey is an erotic romance drama that revolves around the complex relationship between college graduate Anastasia Steele and the wealthy businessman Christian Grey. In the film, Anastasia, or Anna, meets Christian through an interview she has with him for her school's paper. They then explore the possibility of being together, but both have different views of exactly what that means. While Anna, who really has no experience in relationships or sexual activity, sees the relationship as a normal, going out to dinner and movies kind of relationship, but Christian wants is for them to be in a dominant, submissive relationship, used primarily in BDSM. Now, this isn't a movie review. I want to focus on the music, of course, but I feel that the background of the story is very vital regarding the actual music of the soundtrack. For the most part, the music is based on the genres of R&B, pop, and slow rock. It has a good mixture of artists from years past and the present, as well as artists that are incredibly popular and some that aren't as well known, so the soundtrack never really gets boring at all. With that being said, the first track on the album is I Put a Spell on You, done by Annie Lennox, and I must say her cover of Screamin' Jay Hawkins' classic hit is outstanding. It not only embodies the nature of the original work, but the nature of the film itself. Christian quite literally puts a spell on Anna, seeing as he's not at all the romantic type, but still manages to capture her heart. I'm not going to talk about every single track on the album, but the third one, Earned It by Abel Tesfaye, known as The Weeknd, really seems to capture exactly, how Christian feels regarding his feelings for Anna. It's probably my favorite track on the soundtrack, to be honest, because as slow as the song itself is, it's incredibly heavy. Apparently a lot of The Weeknd songs revolve around these kinds of subjects, so it's almost like he could have done the entire soundtrack by himself, but that would take away from the other unique tracks placed on this album. Now, later on in the album, we come to some really popular artists like Beyonce and Sia in particular. Beyonce performs a remix of her song Haunted from her self-titled album, while Sia performs the song Salted Wound, and both are great, but as for Beyonce's other song on the album, a remix of one of her first hit songs, Crazy in Love, I have to admit it didn't sit very well with me at first. It's very slow and kind of feels like it drags a bit, and I much prefer the original version, but after hearing the song in the film, and considering how the scene played out, it made a lot more sense and I appreciated its placement a whole lot more, but even still I prefer the original version. When I finally came to Beast of Burden by the Rolling Stones, I was actually really shocked. I wasn't expecting a song by the Rolling Stones to be on an album like this, but considering what the song says, it's almost perfect. Beast of Burden is a song all about making love, which is what the majority of the film entails, but the song says, I'll never be your beast of burden. Christian keeps promising Anna that his ways will never hurt her, and that she'll ultimately feel pleasure, but Anna is constantly hesitant, to which Christian keeps trying to convince her that everything will be alright, which is mainly what this track is about. Mick Jagger singing about how he wants to make love to this woman and will never do anything to hurt her. One track I really enjoyed was Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra. It was nice to hear a bit of jazz on this mostly R&B album, as well as something truly classic just like Beast of Burden. Witchcraft could be seen as a bit of a parallel to I Put a Spell on You in that both basically deal with putting spells on someone, but if I Put a Spell on You is about how Christian managed to capture Anna's heart, Witchcraft is about how Anna began to change Christian. In certain scenes in the film, Christian talks about how things he's done with Anna, such as letting her sleep in his bed with him, take her out for activities, and simply pursuing her the way that he does, he's never done with anyone else before. He's never gone as far to pursue a woman as he has with Anna, and both he and Anna are realizing it. The song is saying that Anna has done something to Christian to make him feel this way. The Weeknd has another track on here called Where You Belong. I didn't really enjoy it nearly as much as I did Earned It, but it further embodies exactly what Christian is thinking and feeling throughout the film. He's not a lover, and all he really wants is somebody that will submit to his ways. If there was any artist on the soundtrack that could take on the character of Christian Grey through their music, it would definitely be The Weeknd. After watching the film, I could easily connect Christian's character with Abel's almost seamlessly. The last tracks I want to talk about are the final 2 tracks on the album, Anna and Christian and Spark in My Heart. Both tracks happen to be instrumentals, which I thought was interesting and odd. I mean, one instrumental track I felt was fine, but 2 to end the soundtrack just didn't seem right to me. When I saw the title Anna and Christian, I was curious as to how the song would play out, and when I saw it was an instrumental, I actually felt it was better that way. But I was really expecting Spark in My Heart to be different. That doesn't make it a bad track, I just feel that its placement is weird, especially when it's the last track on the album. Overall, I really did enjoy the soundtrack, and the movie was pretty good too. I can't really say which I enjoyed more though. The entire time I was listening to the soundtrack, I was thinking, man, this movie is probably just chock full of sex scenes. It's probably a glorified porno. But when I decided to watch the film right after, not a single time was I thinking about the sex scenes, which there aren't a lot of anyways. I was thinking more about the emotional development between both lead characters. Both wanted to explore more about themselves, but when they got what they wanted, it was different from what either of them expected. I won't spoil it for you, but it was really interesting to see how their relationship played out, and it really brings a whole new light to the soundtrack itself, and it helped me to appreciate the songs way more. Anyways, that does it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want a song or an album to be reviewed, just leave a comment down below or check out my Facebook or my Twitter. The links to both of those websites are in the description. And if you liked this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out. It lets me know that you all enjoy these videos. I have to give a shout out to my girlfriend for requesting this review. Anyways, this is the Afro Adventure. Until next time, so long.